In 2010, Iverson retired due to injuries. His income dropped. His house was seized. He had a few dollars. That same year, she filed for divorce. After their divorce, Allen Iverson's ex asked to get back together 50 times.
You know, and I understood that, like, she's not mine. Even if she may be my girlfriend, she might be influenced by other people.
His girlfriend broke up with him because he didn't make it to the NBA.
And he goes, I don't get what you don't understand about me not paying a single dime to a woman that I married and cheated on me within 30 days of our marriage.
Allen Iverson has been single for 13 years and hasn't dated anyone since. Why? His ex-wife did 3 things that broke him. After that, he stopped believing in love. Do you know what those 3 things were? The last one might shock you. First, she left when he hit rock bottom. In 2010, Iverson retired due to injuries. His income dropped. His house was seized. He told the court he only had a few dollars. That same year, she filed for divorce, took their 5 kids, and asked for high child support. People said she left when he needed her most. Second, she humiliated him in public. During a custody fight, she told reporters, "He can't even take care of himself. How can he raise kids?" That quote made headlines. Iverson stopped going out. He said it hurt more than any loss on the court. Third, she hinted he had anger issues in her book. Years later, she wrote about their marriage. One chapter said a basketball star lost control at home. Name him. But everyone knew it was Iverson. He was hurt again and cut off all public ties with her. And he hasn't gone public with anyone. He said, "I'd rather be alone than let someone use my past to hurt me again." Think Allen Iverson deserves love again? Tell us in the comments. After their divorce, Allen Iverson's ex asked to get back together 50 times. But Iverson never said yes even once. It's not that he's heartless. There are 3 things he just can't forgive. First, she left him when he was at his lowest. During Iverson's career slump, near bankruptcy, and under public attack, his ex didn't hesitate to take the kids and walk away. That moment taught him what reality really means. She used the kids to threaten him. After the divorce, fighting over money and custody, she used no visits with the kids as a bargaining chip. That still breaks Iverson's heart and makes him angry. Third, she publicly called him a failure as a husband. In front of the media, she didn't hold back listing all his flaws. It hurt his public image and destroyed his last bit of pride. It became a pain he can never forget. Do you think Iverson should forgive her? Or him? Would you give the relationship another chance? Tell me your thoughts in the comments.
Wow, for saying give the relationship another chance? How? She kicked him when he was at his lowest, and she became the bitter black baby mama, and it goes to show no man is safe. She wanted him back because she realized he got Reebok checks. She didn't understand he had other so many avenues, because that man can still generate. His name is outstanding. What he did in the NBA is flawless. So that man gets money from everywhere. He gets money from Reebok. He gets money from other things. And now she wants some money back. But how? You kicked that man when he was at his lowest. And the AI was real low. I'm happy he got back on his feet.
So who you taking if it's $50,000 a year?
50,000?
60.
I'm sorry. I changed my answer.
Would you rather be a side chick to a star NBA basketball player or be married to a loyal average man?
I would much rather be married to a loyal average man than be a side chick to anybody ever in my entire life of living. Okay. It ain't happening.
Okay. What's your answer?
Yes, I would be rather married to a loyal average man. 9 to 5, I'm not being a fucking side chick.
Okay, so what makes you ladies so different? Because I feel like most people say that, but when it comes down to it, we're talking about an average man who makes, let's say, $60,000 a year versus average man versus an NBA. Listen, versus an NBA basketball player that's a star, max contract.
I didn't say nothing about no 60.
Gotcha, bitch. What's the average income for an American man?
Ain't no way. 60's crazy.
Listen, $100,000 is not an average man. That's not average. I'm talking
still below average.
So who you taking if it's $50,000 a year?
Average in her mind is 250,000. Not many people are making that much. A guy with 3 businesses, or a guy that's his business is flourishing, maybe. Not many people are making that much.
50,000?
60.
I'm sorry. I changed my answer.
Yeah, they would rather the NBA player, but the money, who's not loyal to them. Always. We already know what it is. Bitter. And what you would be to the NBA player? Allen Iverson is experiencing it now. You would be the bitter black baby mama when it's all done.
Sure is.
I don't want a girlfriend.
Just that, simply put.
Yeah.
I think that's why we broke
I
up.
have my moments where
I think that's why we broke up, bro.
Everybody had their heart broken though.
I started to understand
Some point.
women a little bit more as I got. Well, early on, I understood that like she's not mine. Even if she may be my girlfriend, she might be influenced by other people.
No, KD, you're selling.
They're not hearing KD. They're just not hearing him because they still don't understand women. Like a lot of y'all still don't understand, bro. That woman is not yours. Like you hear that phrase all the time. It's just your turn. She's not mine. It's just your turn. So just enjoy it while you can. And you just gotta look around, bro. Like she's not yours. You could be with a woman for years, bro. She could have your babies. Y'all can get married, and she will still cheat on you. It doesn't matter. It literally says in 50% of relationships, women have a backup man, whether they're married or not. As a man, once you understand it's just your turn could be 5 to 10 years. It's just your turn. You just have to understand it.
Broke up with him because he didn't get drafted, and you won't believe what happened next. This is Christian Wood, and he was projected to be the #1 pick back in 2015, but he didn't even get drafted. That night, his girlfriend broke up with him because he didn't make it to the NBA. But little did she know that 5 years later, he ended up signing a contract for $41 million.
Small world.
Women, you focus on your girlfriends, the car you drive, the house you live in, the clothes you wear, your nails, your hair, your makeup, all the Botox and all the treatment you do, the fillers, the boob job, the butt tuck, the liposuction, and the list goes on and on. And when a man takes you out, you open your mouth and his head hits the table and he goes, not another one. There's no substance. There's no quality about you. Your beauty is not there. It's all external and fake. There's nothing lovely about you. Men are longing for your beauty, women. The essence of who you are. Where is your nobleness? Where's your virtue? Where's your dignity? Where's your adventure? And most of all, where is your mystery? The only way that the world is going to change is if women begin to change. So ladies, when are you ready to do inner work and find the woman that you're running from? When you're ready to do that, go sign up on my Linktree.
He was somebody else's man. Y'all been asking me to tell you the story.
So y'all kept sending me her video wanting me to do the breakdown, and to be honest, she got on my nerves real bad. So let's go ahead and get it over with. That is Ashley, and she went on to give a story time about how she met her husband in Jamaica while on a girls' trip and how she found out that he was in a relationship with somebody else when they first met. Ashley says that when they first met, he asked if she was single. She said yes. She asked him if he was single, and he responded with, well, I'm not married. Ashley goes on to claim that she assumed that that meant that he was single. Sure you did. So they hang out that evening. She goes to his house the next day. Side note, the worst women in the world to go on a girls trip with are the ones who go on a so-called girls trip and then spend the entire trip worried about a man. Dipping off, ducking off with random men. What do you mean you went to his house during your girls trip? She went to his house the next day and she claims that she had no suspicions that he was in a relationship because he talked to her the entire time she was there, and he even came and spent some time with her and her friends during a certain point of the trip. Ashley goes on to say that her and the man made plans for her to come back to Jamaica in November, and she went on to say that she trusts people until they give her a reason not to. Ashley says that her and the man had a grand old time. They were staying the night with each other. He wasn't getting no suspicious midnight phone call. So she's assuming everything's going great up until she receives a DM one day at 5 o'clock in the morning from a woman saying that she wants to ask Ashley a question. Ashley went on to say that she was obviously posting pictures of herself while she was out in Jamaica, but she can't remember whether or not she was posting him, but she assumes that she wasn't because she didn't want people to know about her relationship at the time. What relationship? Oh my God, the way y'all will travel out the country or travel even just out the state, meet a man, hook up with him after a day or two of knowing him, and then convince yourself that you're in some committed relationship. And well, like, obviously y'all later went on to get in a relationship and get married, and that's all fine and dandy. Like, I am sick and tired of seeing these story times online from women who are like, yeah, I went out the country and I met some random man on the beach and I hooked up with him after a few hours. And then like, oh my God, he wasn't like committed to me because he doesn't know you. This is not a relationship. This is just some random person that you chose to hook up with in a different country. Duh. I'm sorry, but a future plan of, oh yeah, if you ever do come back out to vacation again, we can hook up again is not a relationship. But she says that she doesn't really remember, but assumes that she didn't post him because she didn't want anybody to know about their relationship at the time. But she does admit that she was hinting at the fact that the two of them were together out in Jamaica. You know, so the woman's asking Ashley if she's in a relationship with the man. She's asking if they had been intimate. She goes on to tell Ashley that her and the man have actually been in a relationship going on 2 years. And then the lady goes on to talk about how the man's family and friends have betrayed her. And then Ashley claims that the lady started being a little disrespectful by telling Ashley that she was nothing but a friend and she was just somebody that he gave his number to, but he would never marry her. And it's like, honestly, women kind of kill me when they get up here and they're like, yeah, the dude's wife or the dude's girlfriend, she was so mean to me. Like, honestly, if I'm sleeping with a dude and then come to find out he's in like a long-term relationship or he's married, I'm not expecting his wife or his girlfriend to like me. Like, even if she knows that I didn't know that she existed and that he was lying to me just as much as he was lying to her, also understand the fact that she's trying to process like a major betrayal. And you were still sleeping with her husband or boyfriend, whether you knew it or not. So no, like, I wouldn't expect her to be nice to me and I wouldn't take part.
I'm not surprised she did this, right? She saw that man is single. He's out there by himself. His girl's not there. He's single. She shouldn't have did that, but understand who we're dealing with. What character we're dealing with. A BW. And not even just a BW, because all women, not all, I can't say that. I'm wrong if I say that. But most, they won't care. Like, I remember when a lady was talking about, you know, I think I'm going to leave my husband. And then the internet humbled her. And she decided not to because she saw how many ladies were saying, you don't want your man? I'll take him. And when the man was out, she said, I'll take him. I don't care if he has a girl. She's being loyal to this man and made that her husband. And you think he's being loyal to you if he cheated on his girlfriend and met you and end up getting married to you? He's probably still sleeping with her. Oh, somebody switched. The brain is off. I'm telling y'all. It's off.
Personal offense to it. Like, yeah, I actually do probably expect her to say a couple crazy things to me. And truthfully, the way this story time was told, I'm having a hard time believing that you did not have any suspicions that he was in a relationship. I digress. The woman starts kind of going off on Ashley, so Ashley just immediately calls the man. So Ashley calls the man, she's asking him what's going on, and he tells her that him and the lady are not together, but that they have seen each other before. Sure, we'll go with that. And Ashley went on to say that she wasn't really upset with the other lady. She was more so mad at the man because she did ask him when they first met if he was in a relationship, and he told her that he wasn't married. Yeah, girl, that should have been the first red flag. Are you single? Well, I'm not married. The girls be gaslighting themselves. If you don't think that's a shady answer, then I don't know what you think shady is. You knew. You can't convince me you didn't know. And truthfully, especially with the way y'all be freaked out when y'all be planning these Jamaica trips, like so many women plan trips to Jamaica and places like that with the sole purpose of getting humped on. Like, you knew. Y'all don't be caring. Y'all just be wanting to get laid so y'all can have a Jamaica story to come back and tell people. She went on to say that she was upset with him because she asked him if he was in a relationship. He told her that he wasn't married, but then come to find out there obviously is a woman out here who thinks that that's her man. And then Ashley went on to admit, like, you know what? That actually was her man. It was her man. He just didn't go about telling her that he was moving on the right way. What? Do you mean also known as he didn't break up with the girl before going and having sex with somebody else, aka you? And then she also went on to admit that she probably should have dug into the situation a little deeper, but she didn't. Ashley says that that's pretty much the end of the story. Basically, he just kept continuously messaging her, and then I'm guessing at some point they got into a relationship, and then they went on to get married. And then she went on to say that she knows people are probably going to comment that her husband's most likely cheating on her right now because she's still living in America and he's still living in Jamaica. But she went on to say, okay, you have to have faith in your relationship. And one thing my mom always taught me is that what happens in the dark always comes to light. What your mama should have taught you is that when you meet a man and you start messing around with a man, and then you later find out that he was in a whole relationship that he wasn't honest with you about when y'all first met, you don't then go on to marry that man. That's what she should have that's probably what she should have taught. Like the man who started out y'all's relationship by lying to you about the fact that he was already in a relationship, yeah, that's probably not your Prince Charming. It could be, but I don't know if it's worth the risk. She said that as long as she trusts God, he's gonna pull out a helmet of salvation before we know it. But as long as she trusts in God and has faith in God, her relationship is blessed because it has God in it. She's not worried about anyone else, despite deciding to come online and make a video explaining herself and her situation to everyone else. But I digress. Ashley went on to say that the same cheating accusations could be made against her because she's living out in America and could be doing whatever she wants to do behind his back, but she's not. Honestly, Ashley, truthfully, if you were getting that much play out in the States, I don't think that you would have had to fly all the way out to Jamaica to sleep with somebody else's man. You could have slept with somebody else's man out here in the States. Then Ashley wrapped up the video by saying that she wanted to know if anybody else who's watching also met their man while he was in a relationship with somebody else and whether or not you would have stayed and so on and so forth. That's the breakdown, you guys. Y'all wanted it there. Now you've got it. As I've said before, the praying women have pissed me off once again.
You can't make that shit up.
Good job.
Yeah. That girl usually goes on girls' trips, gets clapped up by a bunch of Jamaican dudes. She looks like it. Doesn't she look like passport sis? All those girls were passport sis. So I'm shocked. A passport sis, she went out there, she's thinking, somebody else, man. She played stupid. She looked chubby too. She said, I'm gonna get him. I know he lying. That's my man right there. She wasn't boy crazy. She wanted to get any boy. She's at home with nobody. Seriously. She's at home, lonely, by herself, going to work, coming home. Going to work again, going back home. No men are talking to her. In the States, her smash and dash. That's all she was getting. She was tired of it. She said, if I could take somebody else, man, I will. She did everything he wanted. Seriously. He came home from work. She just guap 3,000. No questions asked. It's like, oh, babe, so nasty. She was tossing salads, everything. Could you imagine? You saw her? And she's going to Jamaica on girls? Come on now. Giving him everything he could imagine. And more. And yeah, I understand why you're upset. But think about it. This is the BBW. This is the BBW. BBW. The bitter black woman, big beautiful, not big beautiful. The bitter black woman, big black woman. the bitter black woman, big black woman, big back woman. She was the BBW, BBW, BBW.
Couldn't agree more.
You think she wasn't going to? She said, I'm going to get him and I'm going to do what I need to do. And she did it. Congratulations. She made it happen. And she's willing to accept what others won't. She had no man. You think she's not willing to go through the rigmarole? Go through all of the nonsense? Just to be in something? Yeah, she's gonna do that and some.
With 3 men. I watched that 8-part story, so you don't have to. That's Ahmed. He's telling us that his wife of 30 days cheated on him the entire time. So they knew each other for about 4 months before they got married. They are both Muslim and they met on this Muslim app. So he tells us how they got married in December. They came back from their honeymoon early January. Between January 3rd and January 31st, she had downloaded Hinge and met with one guy and gone on a date with him. And then she had also met with 2 other men and gone to their house. Now, the men that she met and went on a date with, they were touching. Ahmed was really hurt by that because when he first approached his wife, he was very, very by the book. As a Muslim man and woman, they did not hold hands. He said they kept everything very haram. They did not escalate to physical touch until
haram. That was definitely haram. Let's continue.
they were married. So for him to go through her phone and find out that she was holding hands, even hugging with a man that she had met off the Hinge app, it absolutely infuriated him. When she first presented herself to her husband, her name is Tima. She presented herself as someone that was very religious, that did not speak to boys, that even when she was in school would have her friends speak to boys for her, even if it was like a group project or something. He said when he went through her phone and ended up finding out that she was cheating on him their entire 30 days of marriage, he was like, yeah, absolutely not, right? So he called her father, told her father everything. Her father ended up coming down. He ripped her a new one. He basically told Ahmed, like, hey, this is your decision. Like, how do you want to, you know, divide this up? How do you want to go about your marriage now? The Muslim culture, when they got married, he did something called, I believe it's called a mahr. It's M-A-H-R. He had already given her $13,000 of gold, right? And he already spent $31,000 on the wedding. And so that $13,000 of gold was also at some point in their marriage, he could have been 80, 90 years old, was going to be followed up by another 100 ounces of gold, right? It's like his way of staying accountable in the marriage. And if the marriage was to end, he has to pay that out to her, right? And so obviously he found out that she was cheating. That 100 ounces is out the door, right? So once Ahmed made his decision, he went back to his wife and the father and he said, look, she can keep the $13,000 in gold. I'm not going to tell anybody about why we're getting divorced. She can keep her dignity, but I definitely want a divorce. I want to move on with my life. So when the father and daughter came back and said, hey, we need the rest of the mahr, you have to pay out the rest of the $300,000, then Ahmed looked at them and said, absolutely not. Why would I pay any more money when I just paid almost $30,000 to marry your daughter not even 28 days ago, and she cheated on me the entire time? No, I'm not paying anything. So he said, forget this, I'm still going to file for divorce. So he goes to the courthouse, he files for divorce, and then he said, this is when everything went left. His ex-wife, Tema, she starts to try to portray herself in the courts as like an abused, a battered woman, someone that was getting taken advantage of. And sooner or later, Ahmed started realizing that the father and the daughter are well versed in the court systems. The way that they were filing motions, the way that they were moving around in the courthouse, it made him seem like, oh, they know how to game the system. I mean, they filed motions to seal the case so that nobody knew that she was going to get divorced. They tried to transfer the case to Houston to make it inconvenient for him. Then they tried to file a protective order to get him kicked out of his own house. And then they tried to file another motion so that she would get everything inside of the house. It says she even filed for spousal support. So now we're in June, and they decide to do a mediation to avoid court, right? So he offers her the same thing. Keep the $13,000 worth of gold that I gave you. I will sign a confidentiality clause saying I will not tell people that we got divorced or why we got a divorce. Ahmed has been going back and forth with these people at this point for so long. He ends up getting one of his friends to take all the evidence that he's compiled and to put it onto social media and share it, right? So the very first video that he shares is like a 40-minute video where he's telling the entire situation. Some of her family members saw it, but it didn't really get a lot of traction. I think he said he got like 600 views, right? So then he started putting out shorter form content with trending sounds, and those really started blowing up. So then Tima comes back and she's like, hey, I need $30,000 and a public apology on your TikTok that's going to stay there for 30 days of you saying that all the evidence that you brought forth was fake, that I'm the one that actually left you. You need to apologize to my friends and family, and then I'll sign the confidentiality agreement. And then he looks at the mediator and he's like, I'm not giving her a single dime. So then she comes back and the mediator is like, oh, Tima said that she'll take $15,000 and no apology. And he's like, I'm not giving her anything. So then the mediator comes back again and she's like, well, I know that you have filed for bankruptcy, that you're having some financial issues. What if we do a payment plan? $200, $500 a month. He looks at her and he goes, I don't get what you don't understand about me not paying a single dime to a woman that I married and cheated on me within 30 days of our marriage.
Oh, man.
I'm not giving her a dime. So at this point, Ahmed's realizing, like, this woman has watched way too many Hollywood movies. She thinks that divorce works like this, like protective orders and you trying to extort me for money. Like, that's like a Hollywood way of going about things. That's not real life. So he realizes, like, I'm not just dealing with somebody that's like, oh, you know, maybe I can, you know, finesse my way into some money. He's like, no, I'm dealing with calculated manipulators that are going to use the system against me to get what they want. This is not child's game. So because the mediation didn't work in June, they have a court date set for August 20th, actually, which is actually tomorrow. So they're going to be able to find out what's happening in their divorce tomorrow. Before that, he told her, like, hey, all I've told social media so far is that you're a cheater. I can go on and tell him more. He specifically said he has 4 other things that happened in their marriage that he can talk about that would really, really, you know, discredit her and that would really take away any dignity.
He should do that.
Her name, especially in the Arab world. His hope actually is because he's like, look, she already ate more than, you know, $50K out of my pocket. The thing that I can take satisfaction in is ruining her name in the Arab world. He's like, I want to get this video video out so big to the point that anytime anybody dates her, tries to date her, looks her up, these stories pop up about her and her father and the terrible things that they've done in their past. Mind you, at this point, the 47-minute video was already out, right? So he told her, hey, I can take the 47-minute video down. Just sign the divorce paperwork and I'll be done with it. She didn't want to listen, so he continued, and that's when he started doing the viral videos. At the time of it, she had a relatively large platform. She had about 10,000 followers, and so she started putting out content too, trying to disparage and trying to disgrace his name as well. But when he started putting out hard evidence, like things that you can't fake, like a screen recording from her phone, people started going into her inbox and into her comment sections and being like, what is going on? Like, you're making me agree with a man. What's happening? Da da da. And so things got way too much for her. So she actually ended up deactivating her TikTok. So like I said, Ahmed has been going through some financial issues to the point that he had to file for bankruptcy, and ultimately he ended up getting on food stamps, right? Now, when they were living together, obviously he had both of their names on the food stamps. But when she moved out, he immediately took her name off of this food stamps. He called, he said, hey, she doesn't live here anymore, right? So what he ended up finding out when he was just going through his account one day randomly was that his wife, Tima, had called into the food stamps office and been like, hey, this man took my social security number by force and he put me on food stamps and he's been collecting benefits on my behalf. And he's sitting there like, what the hell? He's like, look, I know my wife is not cunning enough to do something like this. This reeks of her father. He's been around long enough. I know he knows the system. Her father probably told her exactly what to say. She called the office and she said this. That's insane. They were trying to take literally food out of his mouth after already trying to kick him out of his house and everything else. Mind you, at this point, Ahmed has done several background checks, right? Several. And so through his checking, he has already found out that they have a lot of credit card debt. Like, there's so many judgments against them. She owes like $8,000 to Chase. He owes thousands of dollars to other banks. They run up the credit card. They don't show up to the court day when they get served, and then they just take a default judgment. Here's where things got a little interesting. While he was looking at these credit card judgment statements, he ended up realizing that the father goes by several other names. I mean, he had like 3 other names that he went by. He said, look, I've only been looking you up by the name that you told me. Let me look up these names. When he put those names into the search bar, the things he found out were diabolical. So at this point, he was only using like local counties to be able to search up the dad's name. So he took those names that he found, those 3 other names, and put it into a statewide search of all of Texas. This is where he was able to find all the other criminal charges that the father had. One of which was a 2006 charge for the father being in possession of almost 400 to 800 grams of booger sugar and then having intent to distribute it, right? And so he ended up getting bonded out for $500,000, which in today's time would have been almost $1 million. And then in 2022, he was charged with aggravated assault because apparently he found out that Tima had a boyfriend and was doing stuff with him, right? And he ended up texting the boyfriend from Tima's number being like, hey, like, my father wants to talk to you. Can he meet you? Da-da-da. It's 11 o'clock at night. The boyfriend's like, yeah, I'm totally normal. I would love to meet your father. No problem. So her and her father end up getting in the car. They drive over an hour to the boyfriend's house. And when arriving, the father pulls out a pew-pew, instructs the boyfriend and the boyfriend's brother to have a seat on the couch and tells them, hey, I know what's been going on with you and my daughter. You have to marry her in the next 30 days. If you don't, I'm going to unalive you, your brother, everybody back in Turkey that you know. My family is assassins. We can take care of that. Da-da-da-da. He starts going off, right? And then he proceeds to tell his daughter, grab your boyfriend's hand. Once she grabs his hand, he begins to beat both of them with a wooden panel, right? He thinks everything is in the dark. No one's going to find out anything. He and the daughter leave. What ends up happening is the cops get called, right? The 21-year-old boyfriend calls the cops. When they arrive, the entire ordeal was caught on 4K Ring camera. So obviously the cops are like, no. They drive an hour away to Rosenberg to where the father and daughter live. When they first arrive there, the father's trying to act confused and be like, what are you talking about? What happened? Da-da-da. And they tell him like, well, you're under arrest. Da-da-da. And Tima's sitting there like, oh, what are you talking about? We just had a conversation. We were just talking to them. Nothing happened. And then this is when the police drop the bomb and say, we caught you on 4K. We have the entire Ring camera. And so the minute that they put handcuffs on the father and they start walking him to the car, he starts acting like everything's wrong with him. Oh, I'm schizophrenic. Oh, I have heart issues. Somebody call my doctor. I need advanced medical unit. Somebody help me. Like, he just starts panicking, right? Trying to act as if he's having a cardiac arrest. They just put him in the car anyway. They tell him, hey, bro, you're going to jail tonight. The father is hoping by doing these medical episodes that he can delay their arrest. And then the entire time the daughter is refusing to give her ID. And then she's talking in Arabic with her father. Finally, they go to open the father's door for the cop car and he starts to act like a full-blown cardiac arrest, panic attack. So they end up calling EMS because he's begging for EMS. EMS arrives and tells them he's fine, right? But the father will not let up. So they're like, okay, fine. We'll take you to the hospital. They're going to release you in 30 30 minutes and then we're taking you right to the jail, but whatever. So sure enough, they take him to the hospital. They get there. The father is being followed by his daughter and by his brother, and they follow them to the hospital. They take him to the jail. The family follows him to the jail as well. When he gets to jail, he tells them, oh, I'm in poverty. I have no money. I can't spend anything. Da, da, da. So they're like, okay, here's a $70,000 bail, right? And they give him a public defender. The minute he finds out that he's facing 10 years for this charge, immediately fires the public defender, hires a paid lawyer. While the father was out on bail, he went ahead and contacted his 21-year-old boyfriend and was like, I'll buy you a house if you drop the charges. Like, I'll buy you a house. So then fast forward, the paid lawyer is able to take his charges from 10 years possibility to 5 years probation. How he was able to do that, I have no idea. Now, even though the criminal case was settled, there was still a civil case, right? So Ahmed decided, you know what, I need to talk to this ex-boyfriend. So he ends up using TrueFinder to be able to find the boyfriend, and he contacts him. And the boyfriend corroborates everything that the court paperwork said. And then he told him, yeah, the guy even told me, like, tell my family back home that he threatened me. The father was actually unhinged. There's still a civil case on the docket, and that's actually going to go in front of a judge and a jury this week. As far as Ahmed knew, this man was broke. He had no money. He had no assets. He was living on disability, and he didn't actually know why he was on disability. So he decided to try to figure that out. So during his search, he was like, you know what? I know that these people have family back in Michigan. Let me see if there's anything, percolating in Michigan state system. And he ends up finding out that this guy was in a trucking accident back in 22, and a jury actually awarded the father $5.5 million. So now Ahmed's even more confused. He's like, if he was awarded 5.5, why is he trying to extort me for $300,000? Like, what is actually going on? What actually ended up happening was the father was faking all of these injuries, all of these issues, trying to say like, oh, my back, oh, I fractured this, oh, I fractured that. Come to find out, he was paying off doctors to say all of these illnesses and all of these injuries. And once the jury awarded him that 5.5, the defense attorneys of the trucking company was able to come back and reverse the judgment and settle for far less, almost only the amount that was needed to pay off the father's lawyers and nothing less. So he actually was left in more financial ruins. And because of that accident, he was able to end up getting on disability. And that's how he was defrauding the government for disability money. Ahmed was even able to find the website of the lawyer for the trucking company as he was boasting about his win and how he was able to save his client $5.5 million. He got on the phone with the lawyer even. And the lawyer explained to him that Jed Dean, which is the father, and Tema are manipulators, liars, scammers, the best of the best. Can't say what they settle for. Ahmed believes that based on the fact that he was able to hire a lawyer, that Jed Dean, which is the father's name, probably has more money than he is allowing the courts or even Ahmed to know. The father's so committed to presenting himself as though he is in poverty to the point that he's not even hiring a lawyer for his daughter to be able to have a representation for the divorce hearing. Now, Ahmed feels like he is fully capable of discussing this case and being able to articulate himself in front of a judge. He, on the other hand, is like, my wife definitely can't do that. But after Ahmed spoke with the trucking company's lawyer, that's when he realized, oh, this man actually has zero money. All that he gets is that disability money and whatever the wife is making. That's why he is so determined to extort me. It's all starting to make sense now. Ahmed tells us that his ex-wife Tima was actually fabricating text messages herself, while at the same time claiming that Ahmed was doing that. Now, he was able to show that all she had was a text conversation that had no prior conversations in it, with just the first 3 letters of his phone number, and him admitting that all the evidence that he created was false. But he has a voice recording of her voice with her father admitting to not only cheating on him, but also trying to extort him as well. Ahmed realizes that what the father was trying to do is that he was trying to draw things out and have things kind of like be lagging and delayed so that it would fill up almost a year of them going back and forth in court, so that when they finally did get divorced, the father can be like, oh yeah, they were married for a year and it didn't work out. Not the actual 28 days that they were really married for. In one of the posts that Ahmed's friend made for him on his TikTok, you can see that Ahmed put all of Tima's family in a group chat with her father and put all of the criminal evidence that he found, all of the paperwork, all of the judgments, the credit card stuff, everything.
Man, this is wild. This is wild, but as you see, it happens in every culture. Not much, but it happens.
It's an evil world we live in.
And that's something out of a movie. I feel like I was watching Taken, and things like this happen in that part of the world. Happy my man is all right. I'm happy he figured things out, and I'm happy he got out of that situation. But it happens no matter which culture. You'll find some nonsense like that. No man is safe. Whether you're a Muslim, whether you're a white man, a black man, Everybody gets it. But yeah, guys, other than that, thank y'all for watching. Peace out. See you next video.
And the sad part today is most women don't have little to no respect for men.
It's coming.